Hey, Dr. Dave here for Push the Run. Here we are downtown Austin at the Convention Center, the running event 2022, day one, almost over, a couple more sessions to go today. Today, day one, pretty much all information workshop sessions, hearing from marketing and sales professionals. I sat in on most of the marketing related sessions today, at least I tried to. 12 o'clock was Allison Felix, of course, of the Olympics, most decorated track star out there. Her and her brother spoke about her running career, how she started, how that evolved, how she dropped out from being sponsored by Nike after they gave her a hard time when she was pregnant, on to her and her brother starting their own women's directed footwear line of running shoes. They'll be coming out with that next year, I believe, so that's pretty exciting for them. So a few things. One session I was in was on event directors or running specialty stores using email marketing. So a few of the points just to go over. Want to make sure in using email marketing you have a clear message so the customer receiving the message knows specifically what they're in for, what type of information is going to be in the email message. You want to have a consistent personality, meaning in the writing of the email or any type of messaging going out to your customers, you want to try and create almost the same persona. Not too jovial, not too comical, not too serious, kind of a mid-ground, because you want that message to be accepted by the most people out there, that it's going to hit on and make them think about being involved in your activity, your event, come to your store to buy the product. So in that messaging, you want to have very few call to actions, possibly only one. And call to action being you're sending a message out in the form of an email to a customer for whatever reason. Sign up for an event, we have a sale, we want you to buy our product, whatever that may be. So that direction you're giving them, come into our sale, here's a coupon. The call to action is to get them to come to your store. So you don't want to confuse them and having too many things in one message about we're having a run this week, we're also having a sale, and oh, by the way, go watch these 3 videos on YouTube that we posted. So keep it to one message. You want to have a content creation calendar. You know, in the retail industry and when putting on events, what you're going to be doing in the pretty much near future, at least the next few weeks, or if not a couple months. So create a calendar of what type of messages, social media posts or email marketing that you're going to be sending out to your customers. And you want to be using a multi-channel approach. And by that I mean using email marketing, using Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. You want to try and get your message out to as many platforms as possible. On the social media side, you want to focus on obviously building your brand message. Who are you? What is your brand? What does your brand represent? You want to be able to have a clear message in your mind about what and who your brand is. You're almost giving your brand a personality, making it into a person. You want to make your consumer base, your customers, feel that they're invested into your brand by building a community around your brand. So you have an army of followers. There's some construction going on across the street, and I think they just started up a saw to cut some rebar. So you want to highlight your followers, your key followers, influencers, maybe highlight them, their name, what they're doing on your social media channels while they're using your product or coming to your event. And that's not only going to give you the content, but going to highlight your customer, who obviously also probably has their own social media following at some level. So they will then feel special and pump that message out also. So that will give you that extra exposure. And in pushing the message out on your brand, again, just like the email marketing, you want to have a call to action. What is it that you want the person to do who's looking at your social media content? Rather than just watching it, you want them to buy a product, come to an event, watch a video. So just on this video that I'm posting out, you're watching, my message to you and the call to action is, hey, if you like this content, click the thumbs up button down below, subscribe to the channel so you'll keep seeing this type of content. Just today I had probably 20 in 1 hour of posting a video on the activities that are going to go on this week. Posted that this morning, and within an hour I had about 20 new subscribers, so they could keep up with the content that I'm going to be posting. So lastly, on social media, you want to stay consistent with pumping out content and stay focused on the message you're trying to put out on your brand. Next workshop sat in on was on creating brand partnerships, and this was 3 people on the panel. 2 were the marketing folks from New York Roadrunners, who put on the TCS New York City Marathon. So they talked about the different brand partnerships they have and how they created one of the best partnerships with marathoning today with New Balance, and how New Balance came in and just embraced the whole project in developing a whole running community and following around the New York City Marathon. The vice president of running partnerships for New Balance, he came in the middle of the talk as a special guest to talk about the New Balance side, what specifically New Balance did to embrace it. Kind of their key points they touched on was, know your consumer demographics, your customers, your audience, where do they come from, where do they live, anything you're posting on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, you can easily find that information through your analytics. Creative ideas to integrate your brand and product into an event. So like with the New Balance side, they sat back and looked at how can we integrate our shoes and apparel into the New York City Marathon. And they developed a whole line of shoes around the New York City Marathon, special branding on them. I have a pair of the New Balance Super Comp Elites, which is the racing shoe they created for the New York City Marathon. It's in the New York City Marathon red, white, and blue, has an NYC on the side, and they created a whole apparel line around that too. So in posting content about partnerships or connecting with possible partners, you want to be flexible in what you want to get from a partner, and partners need to be flexible on what they would expect out of the event. If you're coming from a retail store side and you're reaching out to companies for sponsorship or some type of brand partnerships, you want to know everything you can about that brand before you contact them. So it's almost like you work at the company, you know so much. So get on social media, look at all their profiles. LinkedIn is probably the best place to start. Look at their YouTube channel if they have one, Facebook, Instagram, see what type of content they're putting out. Maybe they've been involved in other events in the past, so you can see what they've done with those events. So you'll have an idea of how you can bring them in to really be a living and breathing part of your event. You want to know what your key performance indicators are, your numbers for the event that you want the partner to come in on, because you want to be able to tell the partner, prospective partner, what those numbers are. How many people are you expecting to your event? What's their demographics? Are they new runners? Are they experienced runners? All these things are important to the brand so they know whether it's a good fit or not. Is the demographic community that you're trying to reach out to the same as what their brand is wrapped around? That's how important it is for you to know everything about their company so you can easily fit your key performance indicators, your numbers, what you want to do with your event into what that brand is all about. You want to try and use content creators, either local content creators. We're going to create content around your event before, during, and after it. You want to bring them into the event. You want them talking about it to pump it up to their followers before it even happens. And you can work with your brand partners on this too, if they post the same type of messaging on their platforms. So not only looking for a partner to come in, a brand partner to come into your event to give money or product, but also to use their own social influence. And that's how you're going to multiply the number of people you have come into your event. So some of the things Tom from New Balance, the, again, VP of running partnerships, some things he touched on that he had to look at on the New Balance side when getting involved with New York City Marathon was utilizing the race logo in many different formats, different sizing, placings on garments, big logos across the chest, a small one on the left chest side, right chest side, back, where they're going to place those logos on whatever type of products, looking at the type of products that race participants would buy, bringing in new type of products that they think participants will buy, and that can be worked with from the brand partnership with the race people. You watching this video, if you're the one putting on the event, you want to be able to reach out to your prospective participants, people who are registered, sending out an email, reaching out on social media, asking them what type of products would you buy if they were offered with the race logo on it. And funny enough, when he talked about this, a woman who was watching the workshop blurted out some type of a glove that the New York Roadrunners Club used to sell through the New York City Marathon, but they haven't sold it in a number of years. And then a number of other people chimed in saying, oh, I have them. The pair I have is 5 years old, falling apart, but you haven't sold them in a number of years. When are you going to bring them back? So that right there is exactly what I'm talking about, of reaching out to the consumer, reaching out to the participant, and asking them what are the products that you will buy. So they know right there, if they bring that glove back, it's going to be an automatic hot sell. Creating products with your course map on it. If you have a longer event, half marathon and a marathon, putting that across the chest of a t-shirt, putting it on a coffee mug, putting it on a poster. Those are all hot selling items, usually are at the marathons. Have a special finisher shirt. Someone crosses the finish line or a tear-off tape on their bib. They go to a tent afterwards to pick up a shirt that has finisher across the front, on the back, with the big race logo on it. Participants love that. Publicize that they will get that when they cross the finish line. And that actually brings in more participation, because people will be thinking, I want one of those shirts. I'm going to race in that event next year just so I can get that finisher shirt. If you have a special anniversary coming up for your event, you can think about coming out with some special product for it. He talked about that. The last workshop I was in was about using influencer marketing, and all about, if you're, depending on the size event you may be putting on, or even with running stores using influencers in their community, because that's obviously where you're going to focus on for your consumer base to come in from. You know, looking at the local running clubs, who are the big name runners? Who are the people who go into a lot of races, go into races every weekend? I myself go into a 5K race at least 3 times a month. I'm probably, this year alone, I think I'm up to, we're at the very end of November, and I've gone into, I think, 42 races this year already. Obviously there were weekends where I did events Friday and Saturday. I did a couple Friday nights, or Saturday, Sundays, I mean. There were some that I did Friday nights. There were some that happened on a Tuesday night. But someone like myself who goes into that many races and have a pretty good social media following, that's one of the things I do with race directors. You know, they contact me, I put the message on, I'm training for that race, going to go into that race. It's a good race, good course. I might run over the course as a training run, film it, post that to build up some notoriety for that event. So looking at who those influencers may be and connecting with them to try and get some type of contract with them to build up some type of content for you, for your event. Now, you want to obviously promote your events through all forms of social media: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Use your influencers to put their content that they're developing for you out onto all those social media platforms also. Those were pretty much the major things today. Tonight, 6:30 at the Hilton Austin, which is about 100, probably not even 50 yards from where I'm sitting right now. 6:30 tonight is the Welcome Night Social. That's going to be fun. I think from what I was told, open bar, lots of food, snacks to eat, good networking event. So we'll be, myself and Chris the videographer, Going to be hitting that tonight, not to film content, but to do some networking, just to get that part of the event in. Tomorrow morning, day 2, starts with a community run. Buses start here, arrive here at the Hilton Austin, pick up people, bring them to an outside location, I think 3 miles away. You run back. I'm not going to do that. So tomorrow and Thursday are the 2 days of their Running Event Expo, where all the brands are going to have their setups. Huge thing. Get to see all the new products coming out. That's going to be pretty exciting. Hope to be able to shoot a lot of content on the new products coming out. Some brands don't allow you to, most of them do, but I'm going to try anyway. Want to make sure I have my energy levels up for 2 days of walking around. Plus Thursday morning is the Indy 5K. That's going to be fun. Want to be able to rest it up for that. Taking a few days off for running this week to let a couple niggles, pulled muscles, mend up a little bit. Haven't run for a couple days, nor will I the next 2 days. Thursday morning I will, and then probably Friday, Saturday are going to be off, because those are going to be traveling back to South Carolina. So I'll keep the content coming. I'll post again tomorrow about what happened and the first day of the expo. So stay tuned, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.